Hi, is it Jacob?
This is Jacob, yes.
Hi, Jacob. Andra Reger calling you from the company you applied for. How are you?
Oh, love, yes, I'm wonderful. Great to hear from you.
Great, great. Thank you so much for
Yes.
taking my call this afternoon. I really appreciate you making the time for this call.
It's my pleasure. Thank you for calling me.
Sure. And most of all, thank you so much for submitting your application and your interest in working for the company. I really appreciate, your interest. So as I've indicated in my email, I would like to spend the next 10-15 minutes with you, if that's okay. And the main purpose of this call would be to explore your interest and motivation for this opportunity. I would like to find out maybe the reason why are you looking for a job. I can give you some information about the team, about the company. We can talk about the process, what you can expect, and pretty much we can wrap it up, and I can answer some questions if you have any at the end of the call. How does it sound to you?
That sounds wonderful. Thank you. Yes.
Great, great, great. So I'm looking at your CV right now here. It's in front of me. I know that you are working right now as an area sales manager. So tell me about it. Why are you looking for a new change or challenge? First of all, are you looking? So are you on the market? Yes or no? And if you are not, what attracted you to this role, and what do you know about the company?
Well, I am interested. I have been working at this company now for 2.5 years, and I feel that I've reached my potential within the company, and I'm looking to challenge myself in different areas and see what other opportunities are in the market for me to take my professional career to the next level.
That's perfect. By the way, I'm taking some notes, if that's okay with you, and my plan is to send my notes to the hiring manager together with your CV to support your application. So please do use me as your voice for the hiring manager. So that's fantastic. So you are looking for a new challenge and you want to take your career to the next level. So that's absolutely
Correct.
brilliant and understandable. So have you ever worked in an office environment before?
So with my current role, I spend half my time, or probably more like 3/4 of my time on the road and 1/4 of my time in the office. Mm-hmm. So I have experience working within an office, but I haven't, to be honest, I haven't been in a position where I am 100% in the office. However, like I said, I have worked, well, part of my job currently is working in office. I do about 1.5 days a week in the office. So I do know what is expected and what working in an office entails.
That's great. That's perfect. And thank you so much for reconfirming and reassuring me about that. How do you feel about transitioning to a 100% office-based role? So you do have an idea of experience that. Do you see yourself doing that 100% of the time?
Well, look, I think I feel confident that I can make the transition, because even when I'm on the road, I do spend a lot of time on my laptop making phone calls, etc., which I do in the office as well. And I'm assuming now, I'm probably tell me if I'm wrong, but I would assume that it's quite similar. Is that you spend a lot of time sending emails, doing research, etc., filling in sheets, taking phone calls, etc. So exactly. I do that. That's right.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So I guess the only difference is I might be sitting in a car or in a cafe as opposed to in an office.
Yeah, or at home, I guess, because these days everybody
I know.
Anyway.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. That's absolutely true, and you are spot on. So you would be doing different shifts, in the job. If you were successful, sometimes you would be on your emails, you might be on a chat, or you could be taking calls, and that would be a roster or rotation, between those different tasks and areas. So absolutely, that's right. Okay, is there any skills, experiences, strengths that you have gained over the past number of years that you would like to highlight to me would be transferable into an office environment and very much useful, you know, for this job as well? I assume you've read the job description, so maybe if you can think about, you know, along those lines, what would you like to highlight being your strengths?
So coming from a sales background, understanding the sales process. So so in my current role, I basically work as a business development manager and an account manager. So I've got a broad experience across understanding the whole sales process. So it's not just winning the business, you know, from the initial contact to through the negotiation phase, getting the commercials right, getting the deal signed. I actually have to then carry that over into the account management phase. So managing pre-existing accounts and trying to upsell those accounts, make them more profitable. If there's other avenues that we can support those customers through different products, etc., introducing them to those. So from that sales perspective, I've got that experience, which I think would be very strong, because I feel sales is, once you understand the sales process and how it works, you can sell anything. It's just learning the product, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And understanding how to negotiate with a customer, understanding what their needs are, and then making those needs fit with your business.
Yeah.
And I think another very strong skill that I've picked up from my previous role is organization and time management. Because if you imagine, the cafe industry is very fast. Everyone wants everything yesterday. So it's all about managing the customer's expectations, but also making sure making sure you don't promise the world and deliver an atlas, so to speak. Yeah. So it's managing their expectations and then managing what the business can provide to them and making those two fit.
Very good, very good. Is there any areas that you feel that you would need to focus on if you're successful and close maybe a gap, you know, in comparison maybe other people?
I would definitely say understanding the product, understanding the product of the business. I think that's the hardest thing, is because every product and every business is very different in how the business operates. So learning that is half the battle, so to speak. And learning, I guess, how the business wants to present itself in the market, how the business sells the product, and then making that fit within your sales knowledge. Okay. So understanding the business, and also understanding the business culture and how the business operates. So how you would fit within that business.
Fantastic.
And technical knowledge as well.
Technical knowledge, okay. Yes, how would you rate your technical skills, like IT skills or different software skills?
I'm well across, you know, the basics like Word, Excel, PowerPoint, etc. I'm quite well versed in CRM software as well, as like Salesforce.
Fabulous. That's
so
good.
we use Salesforce, in my current job, I use Salesforce to manage my accounts, manage new business opportunities within accounts, etc.
Very good. That's perfect. That's a very good, useful knowledge to have. You mentioned learning quite a few times. So let me ask you this question. How's your relationship with learning, and how do you feel about learning new stuff, more stuff, new products, as you were saying as well, even new softwares? No.
I love learning. I think if it, from a personal perspective, the day you stop learning is the day you stop living. Like every day you learn something new. So good. it's a really, really important thing. And from like, I'm always willing to learn new things. And that's part of the reason why I was interested in this job, is because it's in a different industry to what I'm currently working in. It's that thirst for knowledge and that thirst for understanding and the next challenge. It's all ties in with the learning.
Okay, very
And
good.
I like to think I'm a quick learner, but yeah, that's subjective, I guess.
Very good. You know, that's how it's very important. How do you rate yourself around these areas anyway? You mentioned, and I see in your CV that your current title is manager, your area manager.
Yes.
This position is an inside sales representative. So how do you feel about not having a manager title if you're successful?
To be completely honest, a title for me, I don't mind about not being labeled as a manager if I can see that the new role that I'm stepping into, I have opportunity to grow into that again, if that makes sense. So it's like, I'm not like, I don't want this to be taken the wrong way, but some people might see this as a step backwards, if you know what I mean, going from manager role to this. However, sometimes I think that you have to be willing to make that step to learn a new industry and to learn a new area so that you can grow with the opportunities that come with that, if that makes sense.
It absolutely makes sense. And this is music to my ears as a recruiter. This is very politically correct answer. And it's absolutely fabulous. I just always encourage candidates I'm talking to make sure this is really how you feel after you start working, or maybe 6 months down the line, or even a year down the line, because you are absolutely right. Getting the first step into an organization is the most difficult thing. And once you are inside, you might be able to navigate your career, you know, more closely or more effectively. And you could get, you know, opportunities, and you can create more opportunities for yourself through different learning channels. So I absolutely understand. It's just a period of time which is not guaranteed, or we cannot push any, you know, time to it, how long it will take for you to get there. And I just want you to be sure that you will be happy for that initial period of time, which again could be anything, 6 months, 12 months, 18 months. We don't know that. Perfect.
Yeah. No, look, yeah. Oh, no, I was agreeing with you. Yes.
Good.
It's not a problem. And it's the opportunity there. That's the calling, so to speak. Yeah.
Fabulous. So for this position, what we have at the moment, we do not require any additional language skills. However, it's always nice to have a second language, especially German, Dutch, Italian, Portuguese, Spanish. You know, any additional European second language would be well appreciated. Do you have any other languages, Jacob?
Well, I don't know, not to working proficiency.
Okay.
So I'm a dual citizen. So I can speak a bit of Dutch, and I can understand it to a point. I can read it to a point, but I wouldn't be confident in a working situation trying to hold a conversation with someone in that language.
Well,
the same. Oh, sorry. I was going to say the same with Spanish as well. As I can understand Spanish a bit. I can speak a bit of Spanish. I can read a bit of Spanish, but I wouldn't feel confident that I could do it in a working environment.
Okay. That's not a problem this time because it was not part of our requirements, but this is always something, you know, maybe if you remember going forward to maybe brush up your language skills a little bit, that could come definitely, you know, for your advantage. Even after you have been successful in this, but, you know, if you haven't, then especially. Okay, and what's your notice period? What would be your availability to start?
1 month.
1 month, that's very good.
Month.
Okay. So our office is located in the city center. Once we go back to normal, that's where will be the place. How would that sound to you? Would that be doable in terms of commuting?
That's perfect. Yeah.
Okay, great. So I give you a little bit of an overview, if that's okay with you, about the team and the company itself. Okay,
sure.
So we are located in Dublin city centre. We have the European headquarters here in Dublin, and we have a very diverse multicultural office and culture in the office. Over 250 people based in the office, and we are still growing, and different disciplines within finance department, mainly what we have placed in this office, and we are serving customers, clients, direct clients and channel partners through this office from here. Sales team has been fairly limited in terms of its size, because we have a huge sales hub in another location within EMEA. So we might not have as many opportunities at this point in time, but the team is still growing. So it's good to keep an eye on our website, maybe follow us on LinkedIn, or feel free to check back in with me, regularly. Any opportunities might come up in future if you are not successful with that, of course. In terms of the process, what you can expect to happen. So the next call normally after this is a video call with the hiring manager. I would be able to set it up for you. It's a 30 minutes call, and on that call, the manager will dig deeper into your experience and your skills that would be transferable to this position. If you're successful there, I will meet you again, and that time it's going to be over Zoom, and I would give you a lot more detail about the upcoming rounds, what to expect, and I will kind of prepare you for that. And once you're through all of the rounds, the decision will be made and communicated to you after that. The team is extremely collaborative. We all believe that teamwork is one of our key values, and this is obviously something that we would like to see in everybody. But what you have been highlighting, that you have experience and you will be able to hit the ground running from day one, and you are eager to learn and you are passionate about selling. This is everything. This is what just we would be actively looking for during the remaining rounds, as well as when you are successfully joining the company. Do you have any questions for me?
Do you enjoy working at the company?
Absolutely, yes. I've been here for over 2 years, and I've seen so many changes and growth, and the fact that I've been able to give people job, especially if it's their dream job, it's absolutely inspiring and motivating. And the company is fabulous in terms of, as I said, the collaboration, the culture, how we deal with diversity, belonging, inclusion. We have a huge culture revolution, and this is big. And the company has been fantastically proactive in terms of how we react in different events that's happening outside in the world. And this absolutely gives us, a good reason to be extremely happy and motivated. Yeah.
Good. Oh, it's good. It seems like a great company. So
good. Later the process, we can talk about your salary expectations, or if you feel that you would like to disclose this to me, I would be very happy to take it now or after the call. And obviously when we get to that stage, we will be able to give you more information on the package itself.
Sure.
Okay. Great. So my plan is to get back to you within a week, but if for whatever reason you don't hear back from me, please feel free to ping me after a week, because sometimes my email either get lost in the technology words, or it has happened that I forgot to go back to candidates. So I put my hands up. I did forget 1 or 2 occasions, but my goal is to get back to you within a week, very maximum. But as soon as I hear back from the manager, I do let you know. Okay.
Perfect. That's fine. Not a problem.
Good. So thanks again for your time. I wish you a lovely evening, and hopefully talk to you very soon again.
Thank you, Andrew. It's been a pleasure. Thank you.
Thanks, Jacob. Bye.
Cheers. Bye-bye.
Bye.